Indonesia may be one of the world's fastest growing economies, but the rapid pace of development has not affected life at Sunda Kelapa, Jakarta's crumbling traditional port in the Ciliwung River estuary. The cargoes may have changed. The Hikmah Madani is taking on cement and water tanks as it sets off on the 700-kilometre journey to Pontianak in Borneo. But the handmade wooden boats and the rudimentary cargo loading methods would not have looked out of place in the 18th century. In the world's biggest archipelago nation, many cities still lack container ports, and they're reliant on these aging vessels for trade. Jakarta has Tanjung Priok, but industry insiders complain that even this more modern facility is stretched to breaking point.
Tanjung Priok has seen an enormous growth over the last 5 years, both in terms of intra-Asia cargo, but also domestic containerized business to and from the Indonesian islands. So there's no doubt that what we see today in the operation in Tanjung Priok is probably best described as a little miracle.
The problem isn't just with shipping. Inadequate infrastructure is a persistent complaint for everyone from international investors to local commuters. Indonesia may be a hot investment destination, but Jakarta is one of the last Asian capitals without a decent public transport network. Too much growth may seem like a good problem to have, but not if it leads to gridlock. Astri Suryandari commutes to work every day from Bekasi, a satellite city some 16 kilometres from Jakarta. Despite the danger and the discomfort, the Analyst says that motorbike is by far the best way to get around. Weaving in and out of the bumper-to-bumper cars, it takes Astri 90 minutes to get to her office in central Jakarta. But it would take much longer by car or bus.
There's a good side and a bad side. The good side is actually quicker, but the thing is when it rains, so this will be a painful thing.
Across Indonesia, there are grand designs for new seaports and airports, toll roads and mass transport systems. But in a young democracy beset by corruption and red tape, the real challenge is not so much planning as delivering. These forlorn concrete posts and iron bars are all that remains of the first attempt to build an elevated monorail in Jakarta. Contract disputes killed that plan in the early 2000s. Then, last month, the reformist new governor of Jakarta, Joko Widodo, halted the construction of a $90 million downtown flyover because of concerns about cost overruns and possible corruption. Widodo is keen to get Jakarta moving again. He's just signed the contract for the construction of Jakarta's first ever metro line, expected to be in operation by 2017. The governor is also considering a plan to alleviate the city's jams by only allowing cars to use main roads on alternate days. This kind of approach has been tried before, and it failed. To travel on key routes during rush hour, you need at least 3 people in each car. When the scheme was introduced, enterprising Indonesians like Maia saw an opportunity to make a quick buck, helping commuters circumvent the rules and avoid fines. She is one of hundreds who sell their services as passengers for hire, known here as 3-in-1 jockeys.
Ya kerja joki itu ya kita semacam kayak yang punya mobil kan, minimal 3 orang, kalau misalnya dia 1 orang itu kena ketilang sama polisi. Jadi yang ngambil kita-kita ini di jalanan. Tergantung, ada yang ngasih 20, ada yang ngasih 30, ya tergantung yang punya mobilnya aja.
From 3-in-1 jockeys to political leaders, Indonesians have developed a canny ability to work around the rules and muddle through complex problems. But if the country is to continue growing in the long term, the government will have to find real solutions to Indonesia's infrastructure problems, not just messy compromises. Ben Bland, Financial Times, Jakarta.